We are partnering with Bluegrass Green Source, and we are doing a waste audit. Ashley comes in and weighs all of the trash that was collected for a whole day at our school. And then my recycle team on Wednesdays after school collects all the recycles for the whole week. And then we go through both the trash and the recycles and estimate and weigh how much trash was made and how much recycling there was. And then we kind of look at the numbers at how much as a whole our school throws into the trash and what went into the trash that could have been recycled and what went into the recycling that should have been thrown in the trash.
So we will be doing what's called a waste audit, where we go through at least a day's worth of trash, a day's worth of recycling. For Cardinal Valley, it's 7 days worth that we'll break down. And that's the first thing that we do, is that we go through all of that trash and recyclables, and we will weigh everything, then pull out what's in the wrong bin. So we'll pull out the trash that's in the recycling and the recycling that's in the trash. We'll weigh everything separately, because we want to see what are the problem areas that could be improved upon. And this is what I'm looking for. Obviously paper that should have gone into the recycling bin but did not. Some of it wasn't even used, but now it's not. We'll actually end up having to put this in the trash, though I'm going to weigh it anyway, because now it is covered in food and liquid, so it's no longer recyclable. So we often think about the kids being the ones that need to recycle, but a lot of times I find things that are clearly teacher items that need to be recycled. And this is a very common item that people forget about: the brown bag that your food came in. Usually all the food containers are not recyclable, but the brown bag is. I'm also looking for these water bottles, and this one is almost completely full. So what we would have wanted to happen is for this bottle to be drained. I'm not even sure this one was used. It feels sealed. Yeah, it was. This is a brand new water bottle that was in the trash. So we want someone to actually drink this, and then when it's done, completely empty, they can put leave the cap off or put the cap back on and put it in the recycling bin. So we will just go through everything, see what the problems are, and then I'll go from classroom to classroom and talk about the issues, and also read a book called Micro Recycle, which is about a recycling superhero who comes into a town and helps them clean it up. So, and I encourage all the students to be recycling superheroes in their school and to pay attention to what should go into the recycling bin and what should go into the trash can, and make sure they're making the right decision.
Well, first of all, it gives us data, which is great for science and math, and it shows us percentages of like where we should be and what we need to be recycling, and it helps inform the students and the teachers alike what needs to go in the recycling and what can't go in the recycling. And it also gives them a number so that they can kind of understand how much is going into the trash and how much trash we're making every day. I teach kindergarten through 5th grade, so all of the little kids really get excited about anything that we do in science, and then the older kids they have a little bit of pride about our school and about our neighborhood and our community. We compost here, so the older kids really they take that compost bucket with them when they go to lunch, and they are like prideful about it, like they are responsible, and they feel kind of, like they're doing a good job for our school. So we're putting less food waste into the garbage, and we're making really good soil for our garden with it. So and I think they're just becoming more educated about their environment and how to be a better environmentalist.
So the older students, they have been around, they have heard this year after year after year. I want them to get a hands-on experience of, here are the recyclable items. Let's look and see what are the things that should not be in there. From kind of my point of view is look at how much, not only what we're recycling, but how much we're recycling. Could we be using less? And so I often mention to them, what are some ways that we could reduce our use rather than just thinking about what we can recycle and not recycle. It gets more into reduce and reuse and then recycle. The city does a good job with the recycling program, and we want to continue to improve that. The schools are a huge producer of waste. You think about In a school, you could have anywhere from 300 to a couple of thousand kids in a school every day, with lots of paper, not to mention drinks, and we want that to go into the recycling bin instead of into the trash can, because then we end up with material reuse, which is where we really care about recycling. Is we're sending less things to the landfill and taking more materials and turning them into new materials that we then can use again. Okay, remember, leave everything that should be recycled in the bag. All you're taking out is what should not be recycled. All right, next.
Look, there's one of them. Yep, classic. Everyone puts those in the recycle bin. You know why they put this in the recycle bin, guys? Because there's a recycle symbol on the bottom of it, right here. So people think that anything that has a recycle symbol on it is automatically recyclable, and that's not true.
I have lots of things.
What about this, guys? What about this? No.
Is it supposed to be
No,
That's a fruity snack. No, that's good.
It's
okay?
No. It's best if you pull the metal off.
Why was this?
Okay, you want to pull those wires off.
Look at this, Ashley.
Oh, keyboard. Yeah, this. Okay, this, guys. Let me show you. When I sometimes talk about things getting wrapped around recycling equipment, this type of cord could break the recycling equipment. If it got wrapped around and the wrong thing, it could break our recycling equipment, which is why we never want to put any type of cord or hanger in the recycle bin. I think when students really are able to make the connection between what they're doing and the results that are happening, yes, I do see a lot of students who really make the connections, or they thought something was recyclable and it's not. And so with kids moving in and out of our city all the time, I want to educate those kids and also re-educate the kids that are here that may have heard some misinformation. Especially when it comes to plastics, a lot of kids think that they can recycle any kind of plastic cup or plastic bags, and that's just not the case. We really are limited to plastic bottles and jugs with the screw top. So just those little clarifications, kids really start to make the connection, and they'll even start to correct their teachers. You know, that doesn't go there, that goes into the recycling bin. So you definitely do see impacts in schools. And what I've noticed even recently is that even though we're increasing the number of students in a lot of our schools, our schools are working to reduce their overall waste. I'm not seeing an increase in the overall amount of waste in the waste audits that I'm doing year after year, even though we're seeing an increase in the number of students.
We need more people on board that are willing to do it. If we don't have stewards at the school that are willing to let Ashley come in or are willing to work after school and kind of lead these projects, then it's not going to work as well.
Just those little changes, you know, they do make a big difference when you're thinking about you know, the school year is 177 days. Every day, everything that we put into the recycling bin is making a small amount of difference that really adds up when you think about the tens of thousands of kids who are going to Fayette County Public Schools every day.
I love helping anything with the environment. I love making the kids aware of their environment. We get to go out to the garden a lot. We do creek cleanups. Our school, since I've been here 13 years, and we've really come around with making sure that we're being better stewards of the environment and just doing a great job with recycling. And now all of us have been composting for 3 years. So it's really going forward.